Hey guys, welcome to West Coast Supercars and Classics. Today I want to talk about the much maligned Mazda RX8. Now this one here belongs to a friend of ours and it is for sale. And behind me, that is our personal RX8, which we've had as our daily driver for 8 years. It's been a really good car, and taking it to the track, camping trips, all the rest of it, it's been really good. Well, let's talk about this one right here. Now, what makes this one particularly interesting is that it does have the dreaded low compression apex seal wear issue going on right now with it. So it runs really well, but soon it's going to need an engine rebuild or an engine replacement. So I wanted to talk about that, what these cars are like in this kind of condition, what they're like to drive, what the implications are. So first off, let's just discuss the RX8 in general. Some of you really like these cars, like the no pistons guys. Some of you hate them. You know, that's just the way it is. There's personal taste thing. But personally, I really like the styling of these cars. They're very well proportioned. They've aged well. Let's look at it. They've aged well. They've got a nice aggressive, sporty style. Low slung. This is obviously a different design from the RX7 models because it has the little suicide doors there, which I'll show you. Has a good sized trunk, so it's got a lot of practical use. Good stereo system. Got your nice 18-inch stock rims. Inside you got this leather interior. This particular one has the two-tone leather interior. And just have a look at, when we talk about the value of these things, look at the wear on this, the minimal wear. It's in quite decent shape. It's got some wear just on the bolster there, a little bit more than ours. And there might be a little stain or something on the other side. This car has not been detailed, so I can't vouch for the ultimate cleanup condition, what it would look like, what will come clean. Quite clean in here. The dash is really clean. All the bits and parts are there. Power doors, power windows work. The heated seats work. Here's your suicide door, the rear door. You got this nice, comfortable bucket leather seats at the back. There is a decent amount of rear seat room if you move the seats forward. Not a huge amount, but it's actually not bad. You got a little storage area there, and you can hold 2 cups there. The center also pulls out and comes down so you can fit skis or long items through it. We've done that many times. And having the extra doors just make it much easier to get in and out. As I say, we've used it as a daily for 8 years, and we now have a daughter, so we put her in the back. I'm just going to show you the hood on this thing. There's a lot of interesting little features on these cars. For one thing, hard to do with one hand. This is aluminum. It's nice and light. You got your engine cover there, Renesis multi-side port. This is a 1.3 liter naturally aspirated tuned intake runner rotary engine. Produces about 230 something horsepower. Not a hell of a lot of torque, but you can rev the bejesus out of this thing and it sounds and goes great. There's the other one just for comparison. This one's the silver. All right, so with no further ado, let's see what it's like to drive one of these horrible cars that nobody should ever drive or ever buy, according to some people. Complete junk, horrible cars. Well, I'm just paraphrasing some of the comments people make. I mean, people bitch and moan about everything, right? I bitch and moan about stuff, so I'm as bad as anybody else. All right, let's take it for a little drive and see how it fares. All right, I want to show you the tack as we start it up. So again, what happens with these engines is when the apex seals get worn, they have a tendency to not want to start when they're warm. Like if you've been driving them for a while, turn it off somewhere, it cranks, but it doesn't want to fire up because there's not quite enough compression. But when they're cold, no issues. They always take a little bit longer than a regular 4-cylinder or 6 or 8-cylinder reciprocating engine to start up. They do tend to turn over a little bit more. That's normal. This particular car has the optional improved higher amperage starter. It's had a clutch job, new plugs, wires, coils, everything like that. Oh yeah, by the way, these have carbon fiber drive shafts. For real, they do, just to save weight. Which is another one of the really cool features about these cars, is how light and nimble they are. Fantastic little cars. Anyway, but this car has had the higher amperage starter motor, so it cranks up quite well. It does have the low compression issue, so that's the downside. Let's just drive up, we'll drive up Bear Mountain Parkway a little bit. Haven't driven one of these day in, day out for years. I'm very, very comfortable with the characteristics. Because it doesn't produce a huge amount of torque, especially at low RPMs, you have to be careful about stalling them when you're backing up and stuff like that. It's easy. There's a little bit of an incline to stall it. But apart from that, once you're underway, it's an awesome little engine. As you know, the claim to fame for the rotary is that it's very compact and light, and it produces a nice wallop of power for that configuration. Now what this does is it gives you an advantage on the road. Lightweight gives you an advantage. You don't need giant amounts of power to have good performance. That's actually a myth. There are a lot of really nice track cars that are not huge horsepower cars. Take the Mazda Miata, for example, or the Lotus Exige or Elise, or the Caterham 7. My friend Ian has one, other people have them. So here we are at Bear Mountain Parkway. Let's just get rolling here. This is just mild acceleration. Let's just pop it up to 6,000. There we are, 6,000. Let's bring around this corner here. Very precise handling in these cars, excellent brakes. I've driven these on tracks, done autocrossing, driven them on road courses. Really fun cars. If you want to see my video of the other car, I'll post a link to that as well. You can see me tooling around with that. Anyway, rotary engine. It's so nice and smooth and a lot of fun. Let me pop it into second gear. I won't go too high because it's not warmed up right now. Let's just pop it up to like 7,000, 7,500, let's say. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. So, you might be thinking, what's the point of this video exactly? It looks like a really fun car, nice car, runs well. That is correct. But it's not worth anything. These things are worth nothing right now. People don't want them. They don't want to touch them right now. Why? Because they're scared of the rotary engine, because it's not the normal thing, right? But the fact is, it's a very serviceable, well-engineered piece of machinery that was built by a company that's built a lot of good performance cars, and it's also one of a long line of rotary engine cars that have proven themselves. One of them even won the 787B race car, won Le Mans back in the day. It's a very storied car. There we are, 6,000 RPM, guys. In my big V8 Daytona, that's it. You can get up to 6,000, that's all you got. It's a I don't want to get into the slippery stuff here. It's a little bit cool and it's a little bit damp. So we're just gonna take it easy here. There we go. It's hard to drive this thing with, you know, slowly and demonstrate the engine for you at the same time. It doesn't really do it justice. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the times people are just scared of things they don't understand. Let's face it, it's not that the things are actually that bad. But people get very uptight about things like that. Let's just give it a bit of gas there. Oh yeah. Oh, this is 8,000 RPM. Yeehaw! Good fun. Nice shifter, by the way, as well. Very nice shifters in these things. This one feels really good. Really nice shifter in this one. 6-speed. I wouldn't go for the automatic myself, but you know, that's my personal taste. So like I was saying, people are scared of things they don't know or they don't understand. And that's what's heartbreaking about a car like this, which is legitimately a really nice, well-built, high-performance sports car, that it's already dirt cheap, and still that's not good enough for a lot of people. They're still afraid of the car. They don't want it, which is fine. But keep in mind that it's very, very unlikely that Mazda is ever going to produce another rotary engined sports car. The last thing they did was the RX Vision concept, which was 2015. That was a concept car. Now they're saying, as of sort of October, November 2018, that they're going to bring it out as the Skyactiv R, which will be a supplement to the electric car, one of the electric cars that they're going to come out with. So it's going to go into an electric car as a small supplemental motor. It is not going to be a direct successor to this car or the RX-7s. It just isn't going to be like that. So not going to happen. So if you're thinking, oh well, I'll just pick up a brand new one, well, that is probably not going to happen. So you kind of have to ask yourself, since these things in decent shape, like this thing has very little wear on the body, it's got a few little things, it could easily be looked after, cared for, and it could be run for another 10 years, no problem. It's going to need the attention to the engine for sure, which is a cost, but that is something that you can factor into the cost of buying the car in the first place. But it's nothing to be afraid of. But yeah, you just consider that one day these cars are probably going to start going up in value because they're not ever going to make them anymore, and it's quite practical. So I would advise you have a good hard look at it before you dismiss something like this, especially at the ridiculously bargain prices that they're going for. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. I guess if I turned it off now, would it start? Probably not. I don't know. You can try it. All right, I turned it off. Let's find out if it's going to start up. Usually you have to wait a few minutes. When they get low compression, you have to wait a few minutes, 10 minutes or something, and then you can fire it up. So if you go out to the coffee shop or you're going to get groceries, it's not an issue. You just park the car. I've been using this for like a week. I took it on a few trips just to try it out. Just park it. You go. I went into Home Depot to get a couple things. I think I went to return. I went and returned an item, and then I got some batteries. I came out, fired it up, and drove off. No problem. But I think, like, well, for the gas station, when I gassed it up, I just went to the gas station first before it got really warm, just to make sure I didn't have a problem with it. Anyway. All right, so let's try it. Nope. And now you see the issue. There you have it. In a nutshell, the RX8, ladies and gentlemen. Something to think about. Anyway, I think they're undervalued. I think these are a great car, and I highly recommend them to people. So don't be shy. Have a look at them. Take it for a drive. See if you like the drivetrain. See how you like the engine. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks again for watching. And do share, like, subscribe, all the above. Let me build the channel up, and let's do more videos. All right? Take care. Bye.